Hello, this is Rachel. I'm very much happy to be on this platform today. And as women, I know we are going to dive into a very interesting topic, and the topic is self care. So, basically, self care is one of the important mental health aspect that we need to consider as women. Generally, women are born and known for caring. I believe we can attest to that. So we are born like naturally into caring for our siblings, for our families, for our husbands, even just for the general community. Like, when there's a woman, people know they'll eat, or maybe they'll have something to look out, as in this has been provided by a woman who cares. So mostly we find ourselves to be taking care of other people and leaving ourselves out. But then today I want us to look into the reality of how we can intentionally maintain and take care of ourselves, not only giving care but also to other people, but also receiving care from ourselves. We can do it, women. So today, as we maybe get deeper into this, I want us to look at maybe 4 aspects of self-care. There's physical, there's social, there's emotional, and then also there's spiritual. So when we look at physical self-care, what do we mean? Naturally, I know we are raised to do maybe personal grooming. No one will tell you to say go and bath. You just do the bathing because it's something that you are used to do. But then there's some intentionality in today's topic, because we'll not just do it for personal grooming or for anything that is attached to beauty, but for our inner self, as our well-being. So how does physical self-care apply? So we'll do these little tips by taking care of our physicality in terms of eating well. Sometimes we think eating well is for rich people or for those people who are doing well. In whatever financial capacity that you find yourself in, you can intentionally eat well. What I mean by eating well is have a balanced diet. The protein levels, the vitamins, the carbohydrates, like all aspects of nutrition should be considered at whatsoever level of funds or maybe financial capacity you are at. You can intentionally take care of yourself physically, ensuring that you are having a very good balanced diet. Intake of water. A lot of people don't like taking water. I know water is tasteless and people may not find it a joy, but have a daily routine of taking at least 2 liters minimum of water, especially as women. We have a lot of happenings in our months, and sometimes we just need to be hydrated and we need a lot of fluid in us. So physical health involves our intake of water as well. So we need to take care of ourselves by having a lot of water, a lot of fruits, and just balancing our diet. We go to relaxation. I talked about bathing earlier. No one tells a woman to go and bath. It's a lie. But then sometimes we have to intentionally take relaxation bath. This bath is not just a bath for personal grooming. It's a bath that will help you relax. So other people will do them like a steam bath. Other people will be like a cold bath. It depends with what works with you. I love steam bathing. I love hot water where I'll just go in my bathing tub. I immerse myself while I'm relaxing. I'm not rushing for anything. I'm not doing it because I want to clean myself. I'm doing it because I want to relax. So I'll be deep in my tub. I'll make the water and the foam bath and everything. I'll relax. I'll stretch. I will feel it. I'll relax. By the time I'm coming out of my bathroom, I'm so relaxed, like physically my body can feel. You don't have to go to a beauty parlor or to do a massage. When you have the money and if it's convenient, you can do it, but you can also make it a routine. Like every week, for me, my Wednesdays are for baths. Like I do relaxation bath on Wednesday, whether I like it or not. If I don't do it in the morning, then I'll come and do it in the evening when I'm maybe off work. So I can also challenge you, like you can intentionally start doing relaxation bath. Make your body immerse in water. You know, water is health. Water, there's a way water revives our bodies. There's the energy we get. We feel it and we reconnect to ourselves. Then I'll talk about exercises. Physically, women, sometimes you get lazy, especially when children start coming in and you feel like it's not necessary. So it's also good to intentionally do even just walking. You may not run, you may not do push-ups, you may not do all those gymnastic related kind of exercises, but you can do simple walks. You can even be intentionally walking. Maybe in a week you can give yourself, I'll be walking this distance. You just intentionally make sure that your physical health is important. It's you to intentionally do it. That's why it's called, we are calling it self-care. So it's self-physical care. So the next one is resting and relaxation. So sometimes we find ourselves so busy in the day, you're at work, you're taking care of the babies at home, you had house chores and any other businesses of the day. So it's good to have time to relax. So the relaxation I'm talking about is you having a good time of resting. You know, the body gets tired and it would need to be given time to rest. So you have some time alone, away from maybe your kids or anything. You just give yourself time to rest. And then you have just some time, even if it's not in the daytime, also managing your sleeping hours. Sometimes you get exhausted with work, I know. I also find myself sometimes I'm just sleeping 3 hours in the night, but when you have chance to say, okay, I'm done with my assignments, I'm done with my working assignments and the like, you can deliberately regain the hours that you lost, because your body is still requiring them. It will affect your functioning, it will affect your performance at work or maybe even at home. So we just need to intentionally manage our resting time and our sleeping hours. Ensure you're having good time of sleeping, especially to mothers with very small babies. You know, sometimes these babies can steal a lot of time that you forget about your resting. So you can be intentional about it. If maybe you have a younger sibling, during that time you want to rest, you can call them to take care of the baby whilst you give yourself time. You know, you can be doing the good by raising the baby, but you can be doing the bad by you yourself, like depriving yourself rest, which may be a health hazard. So your baby wants the health mother. So take care of yourself, take care of the baby. Next, we are going to look at emotional well-being, like how do we apply self-care in our emotional life. You know, our emotions vary, especially as women. You know, that times we even have hormonal imbalances. This month is like, and the other month is like, so we just have to be so intentional on making sure that our emotional well-being is well taken of, and we're talking about ourselves, self-emotional self-care. So we know that a lot of things happen. Sometimes we say life happens. There are times whereby we may be faced with a lot of mental health breakdown. We may be emotionally sad, we may be grieving. Other people, even when you've lost someone who is beloved, you don't even know how to go about grief. Maybe you've had a heartbreak, you don't know how to handle that heartbreak. So it's important that you manage your emotional well-being without maybe looking to other person to do it for you, because many of the times we look out for people to be there for us, but we have to be deliberate about it, because it's not always that people will be there for us. So in times maybe you're grieving, how do you deal with grief? How do you deal with a disappointment? Maybe for the single sisters, how do you deal with a heartbreak? How do you heal? How do you deal with a divorce? For those maybe you have been divorced. So these are real life situations that awakens us to making sure that we are well we are well balanced with how we take our whole life, because life happens at any time. So by doing this, we have to start doing some some techniques like a mind relaxation. When you're faced with some emotional breakdown, your mind races. Your mind has a lot of things, and if you are not careful, your mind can go as far as even telling you to kill yourself. Yeah, because that's what the mind is able to do. But if you're not in control and you're not making it uh, be controlled by giving it some relaxation, it will go and think the negative that they bring, like they may harm your soul. So what I'm talking about is having time to relax, mindfulness and calmness. You go to a solitude place, you have time for yourself, in the beauty of nature. Like in Africa, we are so blessed to have a lot of trees around us, a lot of rivers. We may pay, we may not pay for them, but even outside our compounds, outside our yards, you may be just in a solitude place and be there. You breathe in, you breathe out, you just allow yourself to think through something that is nice. You look at nature, you appreciate the trees, the flowers. You just allow the calmness of your soul and of your mind just to be at peace with yourself. And then for those who love journaling, you can put on some thoughts. You're expressing yourself, because sometimes we are living in a culture that is so closed up, whereby we don't easily express our feelings. Maybe I'm going through a disappointment. I'm not trusting my friend to say, how will they look at me? So it's good to journal your thoughts. You just put them in writing, and by doing that, you are expressing yourself. The other thing is also seeking for mental health help, in terms of maybe seeking for a psychosocial counselor, a mental health counselor, or any other professional counselor that you feel you can reach out to. It's important to reach out, because sometimes people brain inside, they are looking happy outside, but inside you find that there are a lot of people who are dying. And in the end, we just realize to say the person that you're seated next to yesterday has committed suicide, and you're like, how? That person looked so happy. But because they don't know how to come in and prioritize their emotion well-being, when they are breaking, they don't know what to do. When they're having these emotions, they don't know where to run to. So it's important that you take adherence to how um you can reach out to your feelings and get help. The other thing I'm going to talk about is the social self-care. I know naturally women are social beings. We interact with our siblings, our parents, and everything, our children. But then we have to be intentional on how we are going to take care of our social life. Look at your connection right now. Like maybe from January to now, who have you added to your social life? Like, who are your friends? How is your circle? How healthy is your circle? Like, can you proudly say, okay, from January to August, I've had this kind of new relationship that are bringing development to my life, that are bringing advancement to my life? Or maybe you've just maintained the same friendship and you don't even care if someone comes or someone goes. So it's good that we look at our circle and improve on it. If there are areas you feel like, okay, my circle of friendship is so much of people of such caliber and not of such caliber, intentionally you can start bringing them in. You can start developing that aspect of engaging other people that you feel can come into your social life and bring a positive change. We're also looking at our immediate families. Sometimes you may go maybe even a week, a month, you've not talked to your sisters, you've not talked to your brothers. It's important to be socially healthy, whereby you are reaching out to one another, you are laughing over them. Even like for people who don't have families, sometimes you may be alone in your room crying out about how lonely you are, but you've got a very good family. Reach out, socialize, be there, go for events, make yourself happy, make yourself network and learn more things, have an adventure. Get 2 or 3 things that you may not know and apply them after, like increasing on your level of socializing. I will talk about the last thing, that's the spiritual self-care. um, Human beings naturally are made to connect with a spiritual being. So there's always that desire that we feel like we need to associate with something supreme or someone supreme, So sometimes if we are not careful on how we have to take care of that need, it's a need that God just gave us. Just like God gave us a social need whereby we need to interact. Even spiritually, He gave us a desire to know Him, a desire to get to learn about Him because He's our creator. So my aspect on this comes from the point of developing a personal devotional life, a personal prayer life. It's not always that we'll be growing when we are at church, or maybe we are in the fellowship of believers. There are times where we may not have a pastor near us and you have a need. Would you wait for a pastor to come and pray for you? Or will we wait for your brother or your sister in the Lord to come and pray for? No, we need to cultivate a culture of ourselves engaging with God, meeting that spiritual need by advancing in our desire to learn more about Him through the Word of God and through studying. So self-care involves our intentions to bring in the management from all these aspects I've talked about. It's not someone from the external force coming to help us, it's us making that intentional. So physically, be intentional. Emotionally, be intentional. Socially, be intentional. And spiritually, be intentional. By encompassing all these aspects, we'll find that we'll grow, we'll flourish, we'll be happy, and then our self-care will be on top notch. So thank you so much for having this time. Have a blessed week. Thank you.